Hello everyone, it's your boy Shaggy Haggard here, Pasty Pickle. The year is 2023. The date is January 1st, 2023. I was able to celebrate the new year with my good friend here, a good acquaintance, Da Wolf. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey.
Yeah, that's him. And I guess today we initially tried to record a few episodes of Audio Purgatory, and it didn't come off
Authentic.
Yeah, it wasn't very authentic. So right now we're just going to try and have an honest discussion about all of the shit that we've learned, just what 2022 personally meant to us. Do you have anything you want to start it off with?
I don't know. 2022 went by super quick. Every year as you get older, it goes by quicker and quicker. So it seems like just yesterday it was New Year's, and we were, just hanging out.
We're recording this episode of Audio Purgatory.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of trippy how quick it went by. But I mean, honestly, like lessons for 2022. I feel like going through changes with personal relationships and whatnot. It's very important to be as try to be as open as possible with the feelings that come in when you go through certain changes. I personally have gone through some changes with personal relationships, and it's hard, you know when you're certain people are out of your life that you cared about. You have to learn how to cope in a healthy way.
Right.
So that was kind of a big theme for me in 2022.
Yeah, I think you're right, because a lot of people, I think men especially, they feel kind of the need to push your feelings back. And even if you're feeling sad or if you're feeling vulnerable, it's important, like you said, to take those emotions in and kind of accept them, because that's kind of a part of life. Even the negative parts of life, like that's what makes life fun. It's like the ups and downs. But yeah, that's something I'm guilty of personally as well. Is like, even if something like something negative comes across your way, and you just try and push those feelings back, and at the moment it works, but it'll eventually come back to bite you. So I get what you're coming from. Yeah, 2022 was a hell of a year. Like you said, it passed pretty quickly. I don't know if I'm the same way as you, but like, I live my year in segments. So it's like, okay, so January passed. Okay, so I'll have time to take care of this. Oh shit, fucking, March passed. Okay, so I'll be able to take care of this. Oh no, September passed. And then but the whole year is gone. It's like you make these plans and you try and achieve these goals by a certain point of time, and before you know it, the whole year is gone.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, right now it's January, and next thing you know, it'll be like April or May, and it's like, whoa, it was just cold like 2 months ago, and now it's like freaking hot again. Like it's crazy. It's just crazy how time goes on, and it's trippy.
It is, because it's like in the long term, life passes by fast. But in the short term, just a fucking week ago, I was in a different state. It was snowy. Like in the short term, life happens really quick. You meet new people, you experience new things, and when you're in the moment, life passes you by pretty quick. But by the time you're at the end of the year, it's like, holy fuck, where did that year go? Like, another thing about 2022 is, I think it's a shared opinion, is that America feels like it's, maybe it's like a worldwide collective opinion, but America in particular feels like we're on a decline. Right? Not just financially, but like,
I can sense it, yeah.
Yeah, socially, Like, things just seem to be negative in America. You know, everyone is at each other's throats. You know, cancel culture is still prevalent.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe that's being picked up on by the people that are perceptive enough to notice it. And if you're not, then you're probably just drowning it out, or you just don't care.
I think COVID really pushed it, encouraged it. A lot of people that I know personally are drinking more, they're smoking more, they're less interactive. You know, they're interacting less with less people. You know, they're less sociable. Ever since COVID came along. And it's not necessarily because of COVID itself, but rather the whole social distancing and everything that was encouraged with COVID. It just encouraged people to stay in their apartment, you know, drink their liquor, and that's essentially it. So many people I know have been cooped up and locked away, and they're not social anymore. And they're just, even if they are social, it's like they're awkward socially. I don't know. COVID fucked up a lot of people, regardless of your opinion on it.
Yeah, all the implications behind COVID, like what came with it, with social distancing and quarantining and all that BS, it was actually just extremely detrimental to the mental health of the collective, and it also promoted weakened attention spans via social media, TikTok, all these applications that are just completely destroying everybody's mind. If you're on those apps, and I mean, I could see that becoming a bad thing if it's not controlled soon.
Yeah, it has to be controlled. Like, I find myself purposefully limiting my access to social media. You know, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, you gotta limit your access to that shit. Like,
you'll spend hours of screen time when you should be like taking care of your shit. Instead, you're procrastinating and wasting time. And honestly, after 5.5 hours of wasting half your day, you're gonna feel like absolute shit if you just wasted one of your days off and you had a bunch of shit to do that you didn't do because you picked up your phone right when you woke up instead of, you know, taking care of your shit that day. I've been there.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I'm like you, Haggy Haggard, I'm trying to limit that and reverse that wiring in my brain and rewire it back to, you know, how it was before social media was around. All those instant gratification dopamine hits.
Because it's impacting your daily life. If you're on TikTok and fucking Twitter and Reddit and all of that, like, it's shortening your attention span. You know, if you're out on a date, if you take your date out to Applebee's or something, you're gonna check your phone, you know, 5, 6, potentially a couple dozen times when you're on the date. You know, like, everyone's attention span has been shortened. If you're on TikTok, all of these, like, condensed videos, all of these, it's like condensed media.
Right, like YouTube shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and in the moment, it's great. In the moment, it's entertaining. But you find yourself having a shorter attention span, you know, whenever you're out interacting with someone socially. I can attest to it myself. If you're out with a girl, if you're out with your friends, if you're out at the bar, if you're just trying to have a social interaction, if your entire psyche has been molded by, you know, YouTube shorts and TikTok, your attention span is a couple seconds to half a minute at best.
At best, half a minute, but I think I saw a study recently that showed that our attention spans at this point are maybe 10 seconds. It's about akin to a goldfish. I don't know if that's... I'm serious. I don't know if that's like an accurate study or not, but you can look that up on the internet.
I can believe that.
And I can see that coming from like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, all these like instant gratification, dopamine hit, apps. Primarily like the YouTube Shorts, man. Those are really bad.
And I have a theory. I thought about this while I was in Colorado. Things are just becoming more and more efficient, right? Like, there's all these YouTube videos and all that. Like, everything is becoming more and more efficient. When it comes to like the whole like logistics of everything. Eventually we're going to become nothing. Because eventually we're going to focus so much on logistics and efficiency that there's going to be nothingness. Mm-hmm. If you get my point. It's reverting back to nothingness. I don't know. This is some shit I came up with when I was high in Colorado, so maybe it's just, my own weird thoughts, but
you were high in Colorado, meaning like elevation, right?
The altitude, right?
Gotcha.
And also the copious amounts of various drugs I was ingesting. But yes, another thing about 2022 is, I don't know if we've talked about this already, is about self-improvement. Have we talked about that yet?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, especially in the year 2022, in the 2020s in general, are focusing more on self-improvement. You see a lot of men, a lot of women focusing on self-improvement, men empowerment, women empowerment. A lot of more people seem to be like going out to the gym, partaking in various diets and whatnot. And I think it's a good thing because that's kind of the point of life.
Yeah, and it's a tool to be used to combat the detrimental effects of social media and what it has on our attention spans, like we were discussing earlier. What better way to do that than self-improve? That's the only way to break free of that mental habit.
Maybe it's unique to Americans, but for the longest time it seems like Americans were really involved in self-indulgence, eating shitty food, smoking cigarettes, fucking just being obese, living a poor quality of life. But recently, like I said, in particular in the year like 2020 plus 2021, 2022, a lot more Americans seem to be like, they're trying to change that. It's no longer the stereotype of the fat fuck American, the fat, obese, unhealthy American, because a lot of people are focusing on self-improvement. They're going on jogs every day. They're having these keto diets. They're trying to eat healthy. Even like when it comes to McDonald's and shit, they're trying to promote healthier foods. That is one positive, I guess I have to say, about the year 2022. Is that in general, it seems like America is making an effort to become a little bit more healthy than it used to be in the past.
What better way than to drive an electric car, right?
Oh yeah, of course. God bless Elon Musk.
Teslas, man. What can't go wrong with a Tesla. I mean, if you got the $75K to fork over for one.
Their stock price has decreased by a significant amount. Like it used to be like $400 a share. Now it's like $100 something a share. I'm thinking about buying some, but maybe we're going to be talking about some of the shit that like some of our New Year's resolutions, some of the shit that like me and Da Wolf want to improve on. Like, do you have anything that you personally want to like improve on?
Man, yeah, I do. I would like to increase my attention span, just generally improve my well-being and lifestyle. Just make better choices when it comes to what I eat and when I go to sleep at night. All those little things really help with...
Sleep is important.
Yeah, sleep is very important, Get your 8 hours. Try to be asleep by 10 p.m. If you're asleep from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., between those 4 hours of time, you will have the best detoxification of your liver and I think your kidneys as well, but I read that somewhere. Your liver detoxifies the most and the most efficiently between those hours. So that's really important as well. That's something I'm working on. Just overall improvement of my overall existence in 2023 and moving forward. How about you?
Well, I guess I want to comment on the whole sleeping thing and getting a proper night's sleep. Something I heard recently, I guess if you don't get a proper night's sleep, if you're only getting like 4 or 5, 6 hours of sleep every night, apparently that lowers your testosterone as a man. Apparently, there's something about it that like just fucks up your ability for your body to produce testosterone. So
that's definitely true. I've read that multiple places on the internet, and it's a legitimate fact. So that's important if you want to, when in a time where there's so many chemicals all over the place that are messing with our testosterone already as young men. Like the last thing you want to do is not get enough sleep. The last thing you want to do is something that you can prevent by simply just getting the sleep that you need and lowering your testosterone by choice, which shouldn't feel too good. It doesn't. Right.
Which is crazy because like people will work out, they'll have certain diets, they'll do everything they can to help with their testosterone. And all you have to do is just have a proper night's sleep. And apparently that's enough to help your production of testosterone. But when it comes to, I guess, New Year's resolutions and things that I want to, like self-improvement, the primary thing I took away from 2022 is that, how do I word this? You need to control your life. Don't let your life control you. And that may sound corny. I came up with that, but I'm sure it's been, someone else came up with that in the past. But control your life. Don't let it control you. I've been guilty of that for the past couple years. Ever since a few traumatic events happened to me with my father passing away and just a few other things, I found myself just living in this passive state where I just allowed things to happen to me. And I think for the year 2023, I'm kind of done with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just allow life to pass me by while I'm just living. I want to be able to control my life. I don't know. It sounds like a stupidly simple concept, but it's a significant one.
Right. Like, you control your life. Don't let other people influence and control it. And don't let your own thoughts get in the way of fulfilling what you'd like to get done. Don't overthink it. Just power through it,
Yeah, I mean, for example, full transparency, I've been single for the past 3 years. And a large part of the reason why is because I haven't made an effort to self-improve. I haven't really focused on self-improvement to focus on all of the negatives that I need to improve personally. Working out, eating healthy, and all of the simple shit like that. I just haven't been paying attention to it. And it makes sense. Like, why would someone else want to hook up with me? Or like, why would I attract a mate if, if I am not the best version of myself?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And
it's not like, I remember previously I was working out every night. I was doing push-ups and everything because I wanted to attract women. But that's not... You should want to, like, work out,
to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Not to, attract women. Women will be attracted to you when you're confident in your own skin.
Yep.
And just doing your thing. And I mean, yeah, so you should just do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else.
How do you expect to have the confidence to pick up a girl if you don't have the confidence in yourself? And this is something I've just been realizing recently. I'm fucking 27 years old. And there's probably some people out there that have lived their entire lives without realizing this. But, I don't know. Self-improvement is important.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Make it or break it. You either make it or you either make it or you choose not to improve yourself and you continue to decline.
There's a lot of people like that too. There's a lot of people out there that they're single, they're 40 years old, they jerk off to porn every day, they're alcoholics, they have no family, and they just live life with no purpose because they don't focus on self-improvement. They're just living life with indulgence.
Not only do they live their life with no purpose, but they're constantly wondering why their life is so miserable and what the issue is. However, they'll refuse to change the key, basic things that they need to change in order to improve their life because it's not comfortable. And that's a big thing.
Yes.
I mean, if you're not comfortable, making positive, impactful life changes to better yourself is not comfortable. So, I mean, you gotta take yourself out of your comfort zone sometimes to improve yourself. And life has become so comfortable for everybody that people don't want to do that. So they'll take living in misery over some discomfort briefly to improve themselves so that they can attain what they should be attaining. Because life wasn't fair when our ancestors were, making it. They had to power through the discomforts. There's nothing you can do about it back then. So
yeah, I feel like that's kind of important when you mentioned comfort, because a lot of people living in the year 2022, comfort is like, in the year 2022, a lot of people live with comfort. It's easy to. Yeah. Because if you're hungry, you can just go on your phone and order some food and it's delivered to you instantly. If you're horny, go on your phone or go on your laptop or whatever and you get some instant porn. Like everything that humans need
at this point in time is right there, readily available.
They have immediate access to it. And it actually, stepping out of your comfort zone is more difficult than staying in your comfort zone. You actually have to make an effort to step out of your comfort zone. You have to make an effort to turn off your fucking phone, ingest, consume less news, access the internet less, and you have to be willing to control your vices. And it's important. It's difficult, but it's important. Because when you step out of your comfort zone, that's another thing that I've learned this year. Is like, when you step out of your comfort zone, you become a better person. You become more adept. You become more
confident.
Yep. You become more equipped with the abilities to react to shit if you're willing to step out of your fucking comfort zone and just live life. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's something that you have to stay committed to. If it's like a workout routine, or if it's like a diet, or if it's, like I said, consuming less social media, or staying on the internet less. if you step out of your comfort zone, you're going to become a better person. And you're going to become better equipped to deal with difficult situations. And I think that's important. And that's a big part of self-improvement, is stepping out of your fucking comfort zone, no matter how corny it sounds.
Absolutely. It's a great point.
And the last thing I want to talk about on Audio Purgatory, unless Da Wolf has some sort of other, New Year's resolution, is the importance of family. In the year 2022, I've understood how important family is. Whether or not you're close to them or you're distant to your family, it is important. It's something that gives your life purpose. Whether or not it's your original family, like your mother and father, or if you're creating a new family, I think it's important to stick to family roots. Even if you marry a fucking random girl from a different country and you guys establish a new family, the family unit is important. And I feel like it brings a lot of purpose to life as a whole. Like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't really bring new generations into the world in a strong, successful way without the family unit. And nowadays, this generation that's coming into the world, the majority of them don't have a family unit. So we're essentially bringing a weakened generation into the world, the future generation, and that's not a good thought, because they're going to be taking the reins in the next 10, 20, 30 years. And how's that going to pan out if they don't have a strong family unit for their upbringing? It's not essential to be successful, but it highly increases the success of the individual.
Yeah.
If they have their family unit.
Well, there's a lot of Hispanic households that we've talked about. Living in Arizona, I've seen a lot of Hispanic households that are heavily focused on the family structure and the family unit as a whole. And there's like 6 or 5 people living in the same house.
Multiple generations. It's the same family working toward the same purpose and goal, and they seem to be living a happier quality of life. Like a better quality of life. Because they're sticking together as a family and helping one another. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
my sister had a child. Oh, my sister had her second child. Well, guess what? I have my 3 brothers and my mother to help.
And your grandparents.
It's great.
And they all help each other. And and like you said, they're happy. Their happiness index is much higher.
There's purpose.
Exactly.
There's purpose. When you have family living immediately around you and you have family willing to help you, it's great. And there's a lot of people that are just like you and me were talking about, that like they're single. They're single men, single women living out there, pursuing different jobs, and they're living in their, apartments for $2,400 a month or shit, living in New York or Los Angeles or whatever. And they're lonely.
They're just slaving their lives away. They don't have enough time to understand or see that they are lonely, that they've got nobody. They don't have that purpose that the strong family unit brings to the table.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, I recently went over to Colorado and I interacted with my family. It was a really wholesome experience. We made food for one another, and I can't stress enough, when it comes to the importance of family. And either way, I feel like I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'm going to wrap up this episode of Audio Purgatory. It's your boy Shaggy Haggard, Pasty Pickle here, alongside my friend Da Wolf. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't, man. It's been a pleasure chatting with you tonight, and looking forward to the next Audio Purgatory.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I made the last episode of Audio Purgatory, but let's see what the new year brings. 2023, let's fucking rock it.